or stretching the waist must be accompanied with the proper mental state, proper concentration at one center. This is a very important consideration in doing these kind of exercise. It's important not to go too fast. It's important not to go too slow. Just do a little bit at a time and develop and increase by training on a regular basis. When I say balance, I mean that the upper part of the body and the lower part of the body is balanced. Right side, left side is balanced. The inner and outer self is balanced. Many of these exercises were developed or influenced by the Nishi health system, which was developed by Dr. Katsuzo Nishi quite a few decades ago. He happened to be an acquaintance of the founder of Aikido. In those days, his theory was that the enhanced circulation of the blood, or to stimulate the circulation of the blood within the body, leads to health. And at that time, this was a very revolutionary, very new kind of theory. Of course, today we know that we know this to be quite true. It's always important that when you're doing these sitting exercises to sit properly and always watch your posture. Don't try to go too fast, and don't try to become too tense, but you must relax your mind, keep calm, and try to feel each exercise. Don't just go through them in a perfunctory way. In other words, they're not simply swinging your hands or stretching your legs or bending your wrist or bending your neck, but try to feel the stretch. Try to feel the benefit of the exercise mentally as well as physically. Developing flexibility in the legs is very, very important in Aikido, because most of the technique is based on the flexibility and strength in the legs and in the hips. These kind of exercises have to be developed individually. Don't try to force yourself into the exercise. If you're too stiff, just do a little bit at a time and gradually increase day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. If you perform these exercises gradually and slowly, the benefit will always be long-lasting. But if you force yourself into these exercises and try to stretch beyond the limit, always trying to hurt yourself or try to go more than what you can actually do, you may find some immediate benefit, but eventually you'll go back to zero. So exercises, especially the flexibility exercises, should always be approached slowly and gradually. Don't strain yourself. Don't try to force yourself in these exercises. Each teacher and each dojo has their own arrangement and own type of exercises that they do. The exercises that you're seeing now are very general, but they're very close to the type of exercises done at the Aikido World Headquarters. But this again also changes. Some people use counting. In general, we don't count during the Aikido exercises. This is a custom from the founder's time. He really didn't like counting because it made the exercises too mechanical. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, left, right, left, right. There's an occasion when someone asked him about the counting exercise, and he said that was very bad. Generally, the timing is the timing of our breathing, and we try to keep the exercises and the movements as natural as possible. They're not forced. Always be relaxed, keep your mind calm, and always think about what you're doing. Always try to feel what you're doing. You feel the stretch in your muscles, but you also should feel the stretch mentally as well. It seems rather strange to say that these exercises can be done mentally, but as you do these exercises, you find that your mind wanders or your mind concentrates on the exercise itself, When your mind is concentrated, you feel more of the benefit. When your mind wanders, when your mind falls asleep, when you're thinking about something else or you're distracted, you find that you don't feel the benefit of the exercises as much. In Zen, there's a saying that when you do Zazen, find a place which is not too hot, not too cold. It should be quiet and should be very clean. This is important in doing our exercises as well. Of course, we should be able to train in very hot weather and in very cold weather. These should not deter us from our training. But ideally, we should find a place which is clean, quiet, which is not too hot, not too cold, and the perfect environment where we can relax and concentrate our mind and our bodies to our training and to our exercises. Exercises are not regimented, but exercises are done individually. Each person has their own range, each person has their own limit. Don't try to compete with other people. Don't try to do more than other people. Don't try to show off your flexibility, but just try to concentrate these exercises and try to develop your own sense of balance and calmness. Please remember that when you do these exercises, you're trying to stretch, you're trying to touch every part of your body. And whether you're turning or bending or just flexing your wrist or your arm, remember that you're trying to mentally think of the exercises from your whole body, not just an arm, not just a shoulder, not just a foot, not just the hips. Think about these kind of exercises, and especially in Aikido exercises, that during all these exercises, we always concentrate on our centers. That means we're not simply isolating the movement in a particular part of our body, but mentally we're trying to feel the exercise throughout the entire body, and we're trying to concentrate at the same time at our center. This center is an ancient term we call tanden, or we call hara, or we call seika no tanden. This is the point 2 inches below the navel. We call this the center, and all Aikido movement originates from this center. Some people refer to it spiritually as the center of the universe. This is also the center of gravity of the human body, if we're talking about the human body from the standpoint of kinesiology. That center of gravity, or that mental or spiritual center, is very important in Aikido. And the best way to feel it is through the preparatory exercises that we always conduct at the beginning of each training session. In standing exercise, it's important to develop the strength in the hip and the legs. Flexibility in the back is also very, very important. Again, I want to stress that don't overdo these exercises. Gradual improvement is always the best way to develop these exercises. You may feel very stiff at the beginning, but if you do just a little bit at a time, day by day, month by